It's the cool kids. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Eva, what do you think? Do you think we should do another silver coins around the world video? Huh? For our ever awaiting audience. Man, yeah. That was pretty cute. I gotta admit, that was pretty cute. You guys didn't get to see that, but she kind of said yes. She put out her little paw and went, eh. So I think she was saying yes. Were you saying yes, Eva? Were you saying yes? Was you? Ooh, I think so. Well, guys, you're in luck because we are, in fact, going to do another Silver Coins Around the World video just for you. So, that's exciting, right? Let's get on with it. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's 195 countries in the world. And I have endeavored to get one silver coin from each of those countries. That is the game plan. That is the goal. That is the dream. That's what I'm told. So that's what we're going to do if we're lucky. If we're lucky. So with no further ado, this is South Korea. Now, South Korea, this is a modern commemorative. The real coin I want, I can't get for South Korea. It's a, now I paid big money for this, $42.96, for modern bullion. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. One clay. Anyway, the coin I want, and will one day get, it's on my bucket list, is a coin made by the Japanese during the Korean occupation, and it has a really cool dragon on it. Okay, and it's pretty pricey, so I don't have one, but it's not outside the range of doable. Like some coins are outside the range of doable. This one isn't. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to go to South Korea on the computer and talk about it. South Korea is a very successful, it's a success story of a sort for the region. And definitely one of the great successes of U.S. interventionism. And, you're going to have failures and successes of various degrees. Not everything's wholly awful, usually. There's always a little something to an idea. Otherwise, the idea probably would never be put in place, right? Implemented. Especially, it wouldn't get past the experimental portion, right? You would think. Now, there are exceptions. History's full of those. But let's talk about South Korea. Ah, yes. Here we go, guys. South Korea. So, South Korea, officially called the Republic of Korea, is in East Asia. It constitutes the southern part of the Korean Peninsula and borders North Korea, the Korean Demilitarized Zone. The country's western border is formed by the Yellow Sea, while its eastern border is defined by the Sea of Japan. And to look at it on the world map, there you go. We'll zoom in for you. This is South Korea. Right there. Okay. Excellent. All right. Now, the nation, In 1950, North Korean invasion began the Korean War. Saw an extensive American-led United Nations intervention, and yeah, that's why you have North and South Korea. Ancient Korea, the Han Dynasty defeated them, and there were 3 kingdoms of Korea at one point, 700 years. Unified dynasties happened in 936. So, Japanese occupation. That's where I want to get that coin. I'm going to find that coin too and show it to you guys. Yeah. Japanese occupation, man. The coins are cool, even if the occupation wasn't. In 1897, King Gojong, the last king of Korea, proclaimed Joseon as the Korean Empire. However, Japan compelled Korea to become a protectorate, and in 1905, formally annexed it in 1910, followed by a period of forced assimilation in which Korean language, culture, and history were suppressed. And that led to protests and 1919 and the foundation of a resistance group primarily in China. Towards the end of World War II, the U.S. proposed dividing the Korean Peninsula into 2 occupation zones, which is, the rest is history, as they say. Ooh. All right, on June 25th, 1950, North Korea invaded South Korea, sparking the Korean War, the Cold War's first major conflict, which continued until 1953. And yeah, there were lots of players. The Chinese were involved, everybody. It was, yeah. All right. North Korea is still attacking. They have they elect people and have a fairly Western style government there. Let's get to the stuff we like, guys, which is the economics. Ooh, religion. Okay. Most people in South Korea are not religious. There's quite a bit of Buddhism, though, and Christians. Interesting. Yeah. All right. The military. Well, we all know. Yeah. The United States has had troops there for years. When I was in the Army, we had troops there. They were always sending. Yeah, it was a thing. All right, here we go. Economy. South Korea's mixed economy. It ranks 11th largest in GDP at nominal. The 14th largest GDP by purchasing power parity in the world. So we're talking about a majorly successful story. Yeah. And is amongst Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taiwan as the other 3 Asian tigers. I believe we talked about them when we talked about Singapore. Taiwan and Hong Kong are not countries, so we didn't talk about them. I do have coins from both, I do believe. The Taiwan, they may not be silver, but I do have coins from Taiwan. I do definitely have silver coins from Hong Kong, though. Pretty cool. I use those for my China video, as I recall, along with some pandas and such. So check that video out if you're interested in that. It is a developed country with a high income economy and is the most industrialized member of the OECD. South Korean brands such as LG Electronics and Samsung are internationally famous and garnered South Korea's reputation for its quality electronics and other manufactured goods. Its massive investment in education has taken the country from illiteracy to a major international technological powerhouse. The country's national economy benefits from highly skilled labor force and is among the most educated countries in the world, with one of the highest percentages of citizens holding a tertiary education degree. South Korea's economy was one of the world's fastest growing from the early 60s to the late 90s and was still one of the fastest growing developed countries in the 2000s, along with Hong Kong, Singapore, and Taiwan. We covered that. It recorded the fastest rise in average GDP per capita in the world between 1980 and 1990. South Koreans refer to this growth as the miracle on the Han River. The South Korean economy is heavily dependent on international trade, and in 2014, South Korea was the fifth largest exporter and seventh largest importer in the world. In addition, the country has one of the world's largest foreign exchange reserves. Despite South Korea's economic growth, potential, and apparent structural stability, the country suffers damage to its credit rating in the stock markets because of the belligerence of North Korea at times and the deep military crises these cause, crises, which has an adverse effect on South Korea's financial markets. Markets abhor instability and change, right? The unknown, right? Instability will get you some major moves on your. All right, they were harmed by the financial crisis, but anyway. Furthermore, South Korea is one of the few developed countries that were able to avoid the recession during the global financial crisis back in 2008. Its economic growth rate reached 6.2% in 2010. So, yeah, South Korea is doing things right. I actually know a few people who've gone there to teach English. The government actually pays Americans with bachelor's degrees to go there and teach English. It's not a high paying gig though, but they pay for your room and board. They pay for everything, and then they pay you a seemingly small salary of about $24,000 a year. But they also cover everything: room, board, you name it. And you get some time off to go out and do stuff, and that's where this tourism thing comes in here. And so if you got a degree in liberal arts and you can't find a job in the States, you can go work for Korea. You just got to do I think it's $800 course. $800 course to get certified to teach English. If you have a bachelor's degree, you should be able to do English sufficiently well. And their students are required to come into class prepared, so you don't even have to know Korean. You just have to know English. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So anyway, that's South Korea. Yeah. That's South Korea, cool kids. Now, what do you think of that? Yeah, so the thing is, current times, well, it's been coming for a while, have South Korea in a bit of a pickle because their alliance with the United States and reliance has put them at odds with China. We can paint it any color we want on the picture here, but the picture is, over time, that's going to become a worse and worse position, possibly, unless we can get our stuff together, right? So countries like Japan, Singapore, Australia are going to be in big trouble if ever there's a live war between the U.S. and China and Russia. Okay, just thoughts. I'm not saying it'll happen. I'm just saying it's very possible it could happen. That's all. And we shouldn't be shocked or amazed if one day that does occur. Now, if you'll remember, I did a video on North Korea, and this is that coin. And so this is their opponent. The war has never technically ended. So technically speaking, the Korean War is still going. Yeah. Oh, let me find that coin real quick. I believe it's a Chon or something like that. There are actually several of them. This is one of them. The one Yang. There's a 20 Chon as well. And they have the Japanese reverse, and the dragon on the obverse is very similar to the old Japanese silver coinage that was contemporary with it. Here's a quarter or a half won, and as you can see, that's the same dragon as the Japanese coinage, with a very similar reverse. Very iconic coins. If you can ever get a hold, I don't have a yen yet, but it's on my bucket list as well. Yeah. Here's a 10 Chon. And there you go. Alright. And then there's the 20 Chon, which is the crown size coin. These are all an 80% silver. Alright. Now, I don't own any of these. These are all wish list items. But very cool. Very interesting coins. And this one's 90%. Yep. And this one's probably very rare and very expensive. Yeah, there's no listings for this one. So yeah, you're not going to get one. That would be cool. That's my new goal. 1 won from Yi Hayang. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Anyway, I just turned one coin into a whole lot of videos. So I want you guys to have an amazing day. I want you to find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake. If you cannot find them, you cannot blame me. I tried to show them to you, and you must agree. So thanks for watching. And man, get out there and search. Get it, guys. Silver coins around the world. You can do it. Adios. Like, share, and subscribe.